But let's jump into let's do this. We're gonna switch back to this screen. So welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna talk about everyone's, or at least my favorite topic, Tesla inventory and how it looks like. It looks like the Tesla inventory has plateaued and the fire sale is no longer working. So what does this actually mean? Does this mean that, vehicles are not being, no, of course, vehicles are being produced. Are they not being introduced to the Tesla website? Or has the demand, that fire sale demand has started to cool off a little bit and people are just, waiting and seeing at this point, and that discount got everybody that was on the fence to go in and place an order or buy one. But it's only been 3 or 4 days. So maybe we're just jumping ahead of the gun here, but we're going to jump into it, take a look at our favorite inventory charts and see if there's any deals out there. And there probably isn't, because everybody's on to try and buy a certain vehicle. Or is it that because the inventory is stuck? And I'll explain what I mean by stuck. And there's a certain price range. There's the hint in why, the vehicles won't, or inventory levels won't go past that. So welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. We stream for 1 hour a day at this point regarding Tesla content, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and a variety of benefits, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look at this. If you don't know, we can quickly recap it. There was massive discounts. Here's it quickly on the screen. Some as much as $13,000 all the way up to $21,000. But I think the biggest shocker to me was the Model Y long range at $13,000 discount, because now if you qualify for that $7,500 discount, you can get like a Model Y long range for like $47,000. And if you qualify, or if you are looking for the Model Y standard range, you can go as low as like $42,000. So definitely some crazy stuff. But jumping to some of the inventory charts, this is what I mean by it plateauing. So this is, shout out to MatchOn.net. He tracks all the Tesla new inventory counts across the country. And you can see there's a little sliver right there. Maybe I'm too zoomed out. Let me zoom in. How do I do this? Today's 20 days. So you can see right here, of course, this is when the price discounts were announced this past Thursday. And then of course it was announced late on Thursday, like what, 8 p.m. PST, so which was like 11 o'clock Eastern. And then so Eastern woke up, the rest of the country woke up the next day, and that's when we started to see inventory start to fall pretty quickly. And this was like over the weekend, right? So Saturday, Sunday, of course, there was inventory deliveries, but a lot of these vehicles that were on the websites, on Tesla.com, on waitingfortesla.com, started to get locked up and people started to put their names on it. But you can see right now we've kind of hit this plateau in which vehicle counts are still kind of leveling out. So I guess what's the explanation here? Is like, as the initial demand, or the initial rush to buy Teslas has to decrease. So diving down to the Model 3, it looks like it's still going down a lot, still in that spike down curve, but the Model Y looks like it has really just panned and leveled out. So this is how we can kind of explain the Model Y section of it. But we'll jump into that in a second. But the Model Y section is easily explained because the Model Y is such at this threshold, because for the Teslas to qualify for this tax credit, it has to be under 55,000. And so the Model Y long range starts at 53,990. So basically what's been happening is that any Model Y long range that's under 55K, or any Model Y standard range, gets picked up immediately. And everything that's left is, you can see it right here, over 55,000. So what this is, waiting for Tesla.com. Shout out to them. Great inventory aggregator site where you can see all the inventory across the country. And there's 301 brand new Model Ys. And you can see right here, there's only two. There's only two that qualify for the tax credit, because these two are under $55,000. Let's jump to the Model 3 to see if we can try and replicate the same thing. Of course, there's probably going to be more. So you can see here, there's a ton of Model 3 standard ranges. So there's a lot more. And so that's why maybe there's still inventory starting to go down on the Model 3, but that's kind of why there is a plateau. That's for sure. But I mean, so shout out to Ryan 4X Mill Battery on Twitter. He's been tracking and watching it all like a hawk here. And you can see right here, this was his tweet from earlier today. Update 88 hours after the Tesla price cuts, looking great. US inventory is down 3,800 units or 85% sold. That's absolutely insane. You can see here some of the sexy or the SEXY model counts right here. So you can see, that's where we're at right now. But inventory has certainly plateaued. Reservations have plateaued. But I mean, we could see it also is the weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday, so we could easily see a lot more Teslas being introduced into the pipeline. But it really goes to show that more people are very interested in the Model Y standard range and long range, and because there's a ton of Model 3 rear-wheel drives readily available for sale, readily available to put your name down, reserved, and secure and lock down that VIN. But the Model Y is just in hot demand. That's where it's harder to get. It's harder to find a vehicle, and it makes sense because the Model Y is probably the hottest selling Tesla at the moment, that's for sure. So we'll jump into some of the comments and some of the questions, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of those benefits include actually scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions one-on-one about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price. And right now on that guide, there's a credit union that has interest rates as low as 3%. So definitely check it out. And as an added benefit, I respond to all DMs and questions in the Patreon app. So definitely check it out if you're interested. So let's jump into some of the comments. Grant, if the pricing will keep drastically changing, will used dealer not buy it in the future? Yeah, there's going to be a trickle effect with all this, how volatile Tesla pricing is. Like banks might get, double think about, should we finance this car at 120%? Dealers, should we buy this car and to trade in, because who knows what Tesla is going to do there? And then insurance, like PSA to everybody that has bought in December, like make sure you're covered, make sure you have gap insurance on your vehicle, because worst case scenario, if God forbid you hit something, or in a total loss accident, your insurance might not cover all the way to 100%. So I see a lot of people in the chat and talking about what Tesla should do for all the buyers that bought and paid a higher price, and that's why I created this petition. So check out the link. It's actually change.org/Tesla refund, and we are 179 signatures strong. So thank you for supporting the cause, because I feel the same. Like Tesla, they should not have done such a crazy price discount. It's kind of like, I feel slighted, and to go $13,000 on a Model Y long range, and then coupled with that $7,500 tax credit, that's insane at the end of the day. And that just ruins buyer confidence, in my opinion. And, Tesla needs to do something, needs to do some sort of PR, because there's a lot of angry people out there, maybe even 100,000 people that's angry, upset. I would be too. And so they need to do something, whether it's free supercharging or free full self-driving. They should absolutely do something. Winston, thank you for the super chat. Aloha, how do you schedule pickup at Tesla instead of home? Estimated delivery January 16 to 23. I've not made final payment. So to do a home delivery, just ask the Tesla rep. They either, some of them will offer that or not. And if they push back, ask them like, I've seen this done, because I actually got it done once. I had it delivered to my house, and the Tesla rep came, delivered the vehicle, had me sign some paperwork, or even just they actually gave me paperwork, and then called an Uber for themselves and drove on their way home, or rode their way home. So it's definitely possible. If they're pushing back, just be like, I've seen it done. My friend just got it done. Like what will it take for me to do a home delivery? Hi, Dennis.